वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणम् सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयम् नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणम् तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारं प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। नत्वा श्रीभारती तीर्थविद्यारण्यमुनीश्वरौ
नत्वा श्रीभारती तीर्थविद्यारण्यमुनीश्वरौ
अधीमहे पञ्चदशीं कैवल्यपदसिद्धये।
अधीमहे पञ्चदशीं कैवल्यपदसिद्धये।
द्वैतविवेक प्रकरणे 50तम श्लोकः। उभयं तत्त्वबोधात् प्राङ्निवार्यं बोधसिद्धये।
उभयं तत्त्वबोधात् प्राङ्निवार्यं बोधसिद्धये।
शमः समाहितत्वं च साधनेषु श्रुतं यतः।
शमः समाहितत्वं च साधनेषु श्रुतं यतः।
बोधादूर्ध्वं च तद्धेयं जीवन्मुक्तिप्रसिद्धये।
बोधादूर्ध्वं च तद्धेयं जीवन्मुक्तिप्रसिद्धये।
कामादिक्लेशबन्धेन युक्तस्य न हि मुक्तता।
कामादिक्लेशबन्धेन युक्तस्य
कामादिक्लेशबन्धेन
न
युक्तस्य
विमुक्तता।
न विमुक्तता।
जीवन्मुक्तिरियं मा भूजन्मा भावेत्त्वहं कृती।
जीवन्मुक्तिरियं मा
जीवन्मुक्तिरियं मा
भूर्जन्मा
जन्मा
भावेत्त्वहं
भावेत्त्वहं
कृतिः।
कृतिः।
तर्हि जन्मापि तेस्त्वेव स्वर्गमात्रात् कृती भवान्।
तर्हि
तर्हि
जन्मापि
जन्माप्येष्वेव
स्वेव स्वर्गमात्रात्
स्वर्गमात्रात् कृती
भवान्।
भवान्।
जीवसृष्ट द्वैतम् शास्त्रीयं द्वैतम् अशास्त्रीयं द्वैतम् इति द्विधा भवति। तेषु शास्त्रीयं द्वैतं ज्ञानात् ऊर्ध्वं हेयम्। अशास्त्रीयं द्वैतं तीव्रं मंदं च इति द्विधा भवति। कामक्रोधादिकं तीव्रं मनोराज्यं मंदम् इति अशास्त्रीय द्वैतस्य विभागः कृतः। उभयम् 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 इति युक्ते तीव्रं मंदं च शास्त्रीयं द्वैतम् उभयम्। पूर्वं दृष्टं ज्ञानोत्पत्ति पर्यन्तं शास्त्रीय द्वैतम् अनुसरणीयमिति। अशास्त्रीय द्वैतं तद्वत् न। तत्वज्ञानात् प्राक् उभयं तत्वबोधात् प्राक् उभयं त्याज्यम्। उभयं त्याज्यम्। उभयोः त्यागः एव ज्ञानोत्पत्ति कारणं भवति। अतः त्याज्यम्। कामादीनां त्यागः कथं भवति? शमेन। कामादीनां त्यागसाधनं शमः। मनोराज्यस्य त्यागसाधनं समः इति। शमसमाहितत्वं च श्रुतः। कुत्र श्रुतौ? साधनरूपेण श्रुतौ। श्रुत्यां श्रुतौ श्रुतः। ज्ञानोत्पत्तेः अनन्तरं जीवन्मुक्तिसिद्धये यदि जीवन मुक्तिम् इच्छति तर्हि मानसं द्वैतम् एतद् उभयं हेयं त्याज्यम्। तीव्रं मन्दं च शास्त्रीयद्वैतं हेयं। नो चेत् जीवन मुक्तिः न सिद्ध्यति। कामादिक्लेशबन्धेन बद्धस्य मुक्तस्य पुरुषस्य मुक्तिः न सिद्ध्यति। युक्तस्य न हि मुक्तता। यदि जीवन मुक्तिम् इच्छति तर्हि अवश्यम् उभयं हेयं त्याज्यमिति। भवतु अहं जीवन मुक्तः भवितुं न इच्छामि, केवलं विदेह मुक्तिः एव पर्याप्ता इति यदि कोऽपि वदति तर्हि जीवन्मुक्ति जीवन्मुक्ति अवस्थायां वैषयिकसुखं त्याज्यम् इति कारणेन यदि कोऽपि जीवन्मुक्तिं न इच्छति, विदेहमुक्तौ अपि वैषयिकं सुखं नास्ति एव। शरीरपतनात् अनन्तरं मुक्तिः विदेहमुक्तिः, तत्रापि वैषयिकसुखं नास्ति एव। अतः वैषयिक सुखस्य अभावात् विदेहमुक्तिः अपि विदेहमुक्तेः त्यागः न करोमि इति कोऽपि वक्तुं न शक्यते। विदेहमुक्त्यर्थमेव साधनं करोति। अतः विदेहमुक्तिं न इच्छति, स्वर्गादिफलम् इच्छति। स्वर्गादि तत्रापि स्वर्गादि प्राप्तौ स्वर्गादि प्राप्तौ स्वर्गादि मात्रेण कृतकृत्यत्वं न भवति। अतः जीवन मुक्ति अवस्था अवश्यं संपादनाय इति कृत्वा अशास्त्रीयद्वैतं त्याज्यम् एव। जीवन मुक्ति अवस्थायां त्यक्तुं न इच्छामि, सुखं त्यक्तुं न इच्छामि यदि कोऽपि वदति, विदेह मुक्तोऽपि तत्रापि तस्याम् अवस्थायामपि वैषयिकं नास्ति। अतः स्वर्गम् इच्छति वा? न। अतः मुक्त्यर्थं किं करणीयं? द्वैतं त्याज्यम् एव इति एतत् पर्यन्तं दृष्टवन्तः। अवश्यं त्याज्यम् एव। Now shloka number 53. Person wanting to be free doesn't want to give up sukha while living. Then after maranam also, videha mukti, then also sukham not there. Then why do sukham is available in Swargaloka? Then you have to work for Swargapala sukham. Then will you say, I don't want Swarga, I want Mukti? Then the same thing is applicable now also. Then in fact, Jivan Mukti itself is not possible without giving up of the Sukha Icha. In fact, giving the absence of the desires for desire for Sukha Icha is the sadhanam for Jivan Mukti. Without that Jivan Mukti, Avastha is not possible. It is just a discussion. So, Jnanam is there, but Jnanam is not yet Palitam, meaning it is Sapratibadda Jnanam, natu Apratibadda Jnanam, natu that the Jnanam in the form of Nishta. Then the person, let me enjoy the Sukham while living. That Jnanam is there, this Jnanam. While living, I will enjoy all the Sukham. This Jnanam at the end of this life, that time I will give up. That also one cannot say. If one cannot give up now, then one cannot give up that time also. If the person is liberated while living, that person alone is liberated after mukti, after varanam. In fact, there is no two liberations. Mukti is only while living. After maranam, there is really no mukti. It appears to be mukti only for the people, for the onlookers. But mukti is mukti. There are no two muktis. So therefore, Jivan mukti is not possible without giving up the kama krodhadi. In the presence of which the jnanam would be sapratibadda jnanam. So with sapratibadda jnanam, Jivan mukti is not possible. Therefore, videha mukti also not possible. If the person doesn't want to give up sukham because he wants to enjoy while living, then mukti itself is ruled out. That is why to convert a sapratibadda jnanam into apratibadda jnanam, there is nididhyasanam, nishta, ityadi. Then why those sadhanams are required? So there may be some people thinking like that. I may have to give up this Vishaya Sukham, therefore let me not have Jivan Mukti. Let me have Videha Mukti. Such contentions could be there. Tasi samadhanameva acharyana uktam. So, यदि जीवन मुक्ति ही इच्छति, यदि मुक्ति ही इच्छति, तर्हि जीव सृष्टद्वैतम त्यक्तव्यम. That is the idea. If a person argues, then we say, if you want to enjoy kama, krodha, if you want to enjoy Vishaya Sukham, if you want to enjoy Vishaya Sukham while living, then you don't want Jivan Mukti. Then after Videha Mukti, that urge for enjoying Vishaya Sukham, will it go away? That will continue. It means because of absence of jnana. Videha Mukti implies jnana. Jivan Mukti also implies jnana. Therefore, it is only a supposition. So, Jivan Mukti avasthayam Vaishya Sukham Ichchati, it is not possible. It is only if a person argues. Before getting Jivan Mukti itself, the person argues, suppose. Then it's an argument. Okay. Fine. Now, so therefore, Videha Mukta, there is no Vishaya Sukham. In fact, there is a person. There is no Deha, therefore. What about Swargaloka? Swargaloka also has got defects. Videha Mukta, so after Sharira Patanam, going to Swargaloka, for that these sadhanams are not required. There also there are Swargaloka also there are defects. There are Taratamya in terms of Sukha. Sukha that is subject to change, subject to decay. Not subject to change, subject to decay. Encashing the punyam in the Swargaloka, that is subject to slowly, the capital will go away. Then Kine Punyam Martya Lokam Mishanti, that the Acharya, he points out. If you want to entertain this Sukha Icha till Jivan Mukti, then Swargaloka, then after Maranam, since Shesukam is not there, therefore Swargaloka Praptya, Kritakrityatam, Praptavyam iti, that argument may come. But we know Swargaloka, in Swargaloka, there is no permanent, it's not permanent. Swargaloka is not permanent. Yata iha tata amutra. As this loka is not permanent, so to that loka also. Therefore, Jivan Mukti Sampadaniya. In Swargaloka, while living, the person may enjoy continuous Sukham. But it is not continuous. Kshire Punye Artilokam Vishanti. So that defects of the effects of Sukham, that is also Vaishayika Sukham. The Vishayas are subtle, different, and more pleasing than the Vishayas of this world. So that Sarga Loka Sukham and the defects of the Sarga Loka Sukham, that the Acharya, he points out. It is not worth desiring to enjoy these pleasures of the Sarga Loka also. It is like this loka only. There are differences, and the Sukham is subject to loss. decay. So that the Acharya points out in the next shloka, shloka number 53. Let us read. क्षयातिशयदोषेण स्वर्गो हेयो यदा तदा
जयातिशयदोषेण स्वर्गो हेयो
यदा
यदा तदा
स्वयं दोषतमात्मायं कामादिः किं न हीयते
स्वयं
स्वयं दोषमात्मायं कामादिकिं
किं
न
न
हीयते
हीयते
I don't want Swarga Loka, but I want to enjoy Vishya Sukham by living. if a person says, for that this argument, this answer is given. If a person argues, Swargaha iva kamadihi asmin loke kamadayaha ye vartante te tyajyaha iti tadi upadesha. That is upadesha teaching. Swargaloke api doshadvayam vartate. Kim tat yada tada you can connect. Yada क्षयाति क्षयदोषेण स्वर्गः हेयः त्याज्यः हेयः तदा स्वयं दोषतमात्मा स्वयं दोषतमात्मा अयं कामादिः किं न हीयते इति आक्षेपार्थे प्रश्नः. दोषद्वयं क्षय अतिशय. क्षय अतिशय इति दोषद्वयं वर्तते स्वर्गलोके. कथम् इति पृच्छेत्. The means for going to Swargaloka is punya. Asmin loke bhuloke punyarjanam punyanam arjanam krutva tena Swargaloka praptihi. Get a visa to go to Swargaloka because of the punya which have accumulated. That's why karmachitan brahmanaha asmin loke. Then that tatra Swargaloke punyasya क्षयः भवति. क्षय क्षीणे पुण्यस्य क्षयः. Slowly punya gets decreases. क्षीणे पुण्ये मर्त्यलोकं विशन्ति इति भगवता गीतायाम् उक्तम्. Not only क्षीणे पुण्ये मर्त्यलोकम is bhulokam vishanti, that loka again jaranam maranam punarapi jaranam iti samsara chakraya vartate. That is one dosha. Anya dosha api vartate. Kim tat kim swarga loke tatra taratam vidyate atishaya dosha. Swarga loka has limitations in the form of one is kshaya, other one is atishaya. Kshaya dosha, atishaya dosha. Atishaya dosha is the sukha is also the subject to gradation. Kshaya, that is sukha is subject to totally decreases, subject to loss. It is therefore sukha is finite only. Tatrapi atishaya. There are gradations in Swargaloka. So therefore एकस्मात् सुखात् अन्य सुखम उत्कृष्टम भवति. Utkrishtatvat. So there will be matsaryam, jealousy. One person will be enjoying. See, not all person will be enjoying the same type of sukham in the Swargaloka. It is not possible. All cannot be put in the same room in the same Swargaloka. It is not possible because of Taratamya in the Sukha. A person would have earned minimum Sukha for entry into Swargaloka. Another person would have earned a lot of Sukha, lot of Punya. So, from that much Sukham which is required, minimum Sukham, minimum Punyam which is required for entry, that person also will be there. And person who has done even Ashwamedha, Yaga, etc., would have earned a lot of Punyam, that person also will be there. Therefore, both cannot, both will not, both should not, in fact, enjoy the same type of Sukham. Therefore, Tatrapi Utkrishtam Sukham, Nikrishtam Sukham iti Taratamyam. Taratamyam vartate, Taratamya yatha iha, tata there also Taratamya. So, Kshayadoshaha asti, Atishayadoshaha api tatra asti eva Surgaloke. Therefore, Dosha Dvayat, Dvaya Yogat, Sargaha api Tyaktavyaha. It is not Nirdosham Sukham, it is Sadosham Sukham. If you are interested in Sadosham Sukham, then that Sukham is very well, it is there in this Loka. Need not go to Sarga Loka, need not, in fact, do any sadhana for getting Chitta Shuddhi or Upasana, not required. If you are interested in Vishaya Sukha. So, suppose that the desire for the Sukham Surgaloka is there, still lingering in the mind of the person, the Vedika, or even Lokika also. At the same time, he wants Mukti also, that also he is working for. So to make him understand, the Surga Loka is, Surga Sukham is Dosha Sakita Sukham. The Acharya says. Therefore, Kamadayaha, Dosha Bhutaha, in fact, that Purusha Bandhane, Karanani Bhavanti, Kamadeha, Ataha Tam Doshagitva, Acharya Hodati, Kimartam Na Hiyate, Dosha Sagitatvat. Yadi Yada Swargaha Kshayati Doshena, Swarga Kshayati Doshena, Vartamanaha Swargaha Yatha Heyaha, Tata Atrapi Kamadihi, Dosha Sagitaha, Kamadayaha, Prabala Dosha Sagitaha, Kamadayaha, Bhavanti, Atra. Ataha Kimartam Na Hiyate Kamadihi, Et Heyam. Yada if, Yada Tada, Yada Tada, why don't you give up Kama here itself if Sarga Sukha itself has defects? You cannot aspire for better Sukham other than Sarga Loka. If Sarga Loka itself has got defects, then why don't you give up the Sukha Anveshanam, that Sukha Icha, the Kamadihi here itself, because it is full of doshas. Doshata, doshata, doshatam atma, doshabhutaha ityartaha. So, yada swayam doshabhutaha, ataha kamadi doshaha, kimartam nahiyate, natyajyate, kimartam nahiyate, tyajyate iti. Swayam doshatamatma, doshabhutaha, kamadihi. So kamadihi swayam doshabhutaha. It's kamadihi, whether it is this loka or that loka. Kamadihi doshabhutaha eva. Therefore, kimartam na hiyate, kimartam na tyajyate. It should be given up. Therefore, work for freedom from kamadi. Kim nahiyate amutra kamadi. So dosha sagitatvat swargaha tyaktavyaha. Because dosha sagitaha sarga icha taktavya. Kimartam? Because कामादयः दोषभूताः अतः त्यक्तव्याः. Therefore, कामादयः should be given up because they are doshabhutaः. Therefore, Surgaloka will be doshasagitaः. Therefore, it also means it should be given up. When Kamadihi is given up, the desire for Surgaloka also will go away. And the defects of Surgaloka is pointed to Kshayati doshena. क्षयदोषः अतिदोषः इति दोषद्वयेन वर्तमानः स्वर्गलोकः यदा हेयः, when it should be given up. Why you are giving up Swargaloka? Why should be given up? Because it has got its defects. Therefore, Kamadihi Swayam Doshabhutaha. Kamadi, they are naturally with dosha, defects. There is no nirdoshak kama. Kama is always a defect only. Kama is wanting to be something. That is a dosha only. Anything you become, you will not feel complete. You are not going to be complete. Anything you gain, anything out, anything you want to, you like and achieve, that will not going to make you purnam. Except jnanam, jnanam alone is nirdosha. So everything else is sadosha. So kamadihi swayam sadosha. Ataha ayam kim nahiyate. Why don't he give up? So need not wait. Need not wait for Videha Mukti to give up kama. Jivan Mukti Siddhaye, Jivan Mukti Siddhaye Atra Eva, by living itself, should be given up. Then only Jivan Mukti also is possible. Therefore, Jivan Mukti Siddhaye, Jnanat Urdvam, Ubayam, Eyam. If it is not given up, then Jivan Mukti na Siddhyati. Then Videha Mukti, that is also questionable. In fact, free from the desires, free from karma. In fact, that itself is a relative freedom. Shaknoti hayvaya sodam raksharira vimokshanath kamakrodhat kamakrodhodbhavam vegam sayukta sasuki naraha. It's a beautiful shloka. That person is saha suki naraha, is the happiest person who is free from the pressures of kama and krodha, prak sharira vimokshanat, before sharira patanam. A person who is free, not who is not disturbed by, who is not under the pressures of kama and krodha. That person is the happiest person. Therefore, it is dosha sagitaha. Kimartam na hiyate त्यक्तव्यम इति. प्रतिबंधी मोचनम प्रतिबंधी मोचनम शंकते. टीका. प्रतिबंधी मोचनम शंकते. क्षय इति. दोषयुक्तत्वेन स्वर्गादेगे त्याज्यत्वे सति सप्तमी सकल पुरुषार्थ विघातकत्वेन अतीव दोषरूपस्य कामादेः सुतरां त्याज्यत्वमिति आह तदा इति. प्रतिबंधी मोचनम शंकते. Pratibandhi is that which binds. And from the Pratibandhi, moksha from the Pratibandhi, here Shankate, it is doubted, moksha from the Pratibandhi, to get out from this Pratibandhi, from this binding, from this bondage. What is a means? Shankate for that. For that, the Acharya here says, dosha yuktatvena, because it is endowed with dosha. Therefore, Swargadege Tyajyatve Sati. Swargadege Tyajatvam Sati. Swargaloka, if it is they are to be given up, then Tyajatve Sati. Sakala Purushartha Vigatatvena. Sakala Purushartha Vidagatvena. The desire, Sakala Purusha Vigata means means it is Handatu. Sakala Purusha Vigatatvena. The desire is the dosha yuktatvena swargadehe tyajatve sati. If the swarga etc. swargadehe, they are to be given up because they are endowed with defects. Therefore, sakala purushartha vigatatvena adi ativa dosha rupasya kamadehe, kama etc. They are capable of destroying all the purushartha, dharmartha, kama moksha, all the purusharthas. All the purushartha, the kamadi, this dosha rupa kamari, kama which is form of defects will destroy all the purushartha completely. Therefore, sutaram, sutaram, tyajyatvam itihaha. Therefore it should be definitely given up because the kama can destroy sakala purushartha. Therefore, it should be given up. Swargaloka should be given up because dosha yuktaha. And kama is capable of destroying all the purushartha while living here. Therefore, kama the purushartha sutaram tyajyam eva iti. Kama dehit sutaram tyajyatvam should be given up. That is the pratibandhi mochanam. What is the means to remove, what is the means to get out from this bandha? Giving up of kama, kamadihi. Kamadi tyagaha, kamatyagaha. Kamatyagaha eva. Kamadihi adi padat kama, when kama is a krodha will be there. Lobha, all the shatripus. But it is the kama is the beginning. So kama is that kama sanjayate krodha, then kama, obstructed kama will become krodha. Then krodha, slowly the person will lose his viveka buddhi. The person destroys himself. That is a dosha. As said the Lord in the Gita. So, kama sanjayate krodha, krodhat bhavati sammogaha. Sammoghat smriti vibhramaha, smriti vibhramshat buddhinasha, buddhinashat vinashyati. Therefore, sadosha, therefore, prabala doshaha kamadayaha. Ataha, kim na hiyate sutram tyajyam eva iti. Because it destroys vigatatvena, it destroys all the purushata. Pratibhramshat buddhinasha, buddhinasha vinashyati. Even in the Gita, buddhinasha vinashyati means the person is destroyed. Destroyed means not physically. Viveka buddhi is not there, then he will be deprived of enjoying the sukham, vaishekika sukham also. Not only a mumukshu should have the viveka, even the person who is interested in enjoying the pleasure of this world also must have some viveka. If viveka is not there, then he will be deprived of even that sukham also. Why? Because kamadeyaha dosha bhutaha. They are doshaha. If the person is not able to give up kama, then he should be able to handle kama properly. That is why that Gita shloka also very apt here. Buddhinashaha. That buddhinasha is what is pointed out here in the Tika. Sakala purushartha vigatatvena. It is capable of destroying all the purushartha. What? This kama dayaha. Dosharupa kama dayaha. Ataha sutaram should be definitely should be given up. So iti. So therefore one cannot think of entertaining kama while living. After Maranam, there is Punaragamanam not there because Videka Mukti cannot say. Then the next shloka. Tattvam buddhvapi kamadi nishesham najahasi chet.
Tvam
Tvam
buddha
buddhvapi
kamadhi
kamadi
jahasi chet.
jahasi chet.
Yateshtacharanam te syat karma shastrati langinaha.
यथेष्टाचरणं
यथेष्टाचरणं ते स्यात्
कर्मशास्त्रातिलङ्घिनः
कर्मशास्त्रातिलङ्घिनः
Yateshtacharanam ishtacharanam. Yateshtacharanam. Yatha ishtam. Yateshtam. Then ishta acharanam. Yateshtam acharanam karmadarya. Yatha ishtam yateshtam. Yateshtam acharanam yateshtam. Yateshtacharanam. So tattvam buddhva api. Tattvam buddhva api kamadin nishesham. It's not sandhi, just kamadin nishesham without baki, not nishesham. Na jahasi chet. Yadi tvam tattvam buddhva na kamadi na nishesham without no, not completely. Nishesham is sarvam, na jahasi chet. So you have gained knowledge, but if you don't give up kama completely, then the question comes, Tattvam Buddha, having known Tattvam, then I am Tattvajnaha, knower. Then now, where is the question of kama, giving up of kamadi? Because kamadis are sufficient, I mean, they are given up, in fact, by as a prior to jnanam, by karma yoga and upasana, by the sadhana, nagadi nivritti by karma yoga, by upasana chittanaishchalyam. In fact, chittanaishchalyam is not possible without karma yoga because this raga dvesha nivritti. Then only upasana, then only chittanaishchalyam is possible. Therefore, those sadhanas are done before jnana. Then Tattvam Buddha, if you don't give up the kamadi, jagasi, what is the supposition? No, here we need to understand Tattvam Buddha is, it is not jnana nishta avastha. It is not chatapragya avastha. Here, sapratibadda jnana avastha. So Tattvam Buddha, Tattvam Atma Brahma, Jnatva Buddha, so knowledge of Brahma. That is jnanam, knowledge of Atma. That is jnanam. That jnanam is sapratibadda jnanam. It is not jnana nishta avastha. So as a sadhaka, a mumukshu, tattvam, he studies shastram, shravanam, mananam, he does, therefore gets knowledge. So nobody can say after shravanam, knowledge is not there, you cannot say. But the knowledge is sapratibadda jnanam. It has to become apratibadda jnanam, then only moksha is. Sapratibadda jnanam is pratibadda jnanam. Pratibadda jnanam is ajnana, in fact. Jnanam is, it's not like a complete ajnanam, but the person is an informed person. It has to become the pratibadha jnana, free from pratibadha. What is a pratibadha? Pratibadha is these doshas, kamadeha. So, in fact, that is the cause for pratibadha. And the person doesn't want to give up kamadi. Yadi na jahasi. Hatum yadi na ichasi chet. Tom. Tattam buddhapi. So, so tattvam buddha, having known, shavanam he has done, there may be doubts. Mananam he has not done, or nididhyasam is not yet done, or viparita bhavana nivrittihi. So therefore it is sapratibadha jnanam. Therefore tattvam buddha. So if kama is, in fact, kamadi doshas, kamadin, kamade vartante. Therefore it is sapratibadha jnanam. That kamadi nishesham edi na jagasi. The kamadis are kamadeha, they are doshaha, therefore it should be given up. But the person doesn't want to give up, or may give up partially, not completely. Nishesham. Nishesham na jagasi chet. If the person, nishesha means without balance, means total, completely. This kamadin, kama krodadin, na jagasi, tektum na ichasi chet. If it is not given up after tattva bodha, and more to that, now you will be known in the world as a person pursuing Vedanta. So, different from the other people, you'll be looked upon as a person pursuing Vedanta, working for moksha. Therefore, naturally, people will have some maryada, some respect for that person. And that too, if the person is a brahmacharya sannyasi, you will be looked upon by the society as is something the great, because he's given up everything and working for moksha. And that person, yateshta charanam. So if his acharanam is yatha ishta, to his liking, which suppose if he acts, his actions are based on instincts. Yateshta charanam te is tava, you. Suppose if you act as you like, based on your instincts, te tava acharanam yateshtacharanam syad bhavati, then you will be transgressing the karma shastram. Karma shastra atilanginaha. You will be transgressing the karma shastra, dharma shastra. Karma shastram atilangate. Karma shastra atilanginaha. Then you will be atilangina, karma shastra atilanginaha. So karma shastra atilanginaha. Te karma shastra atilanganam. Karma shastra is dharma shastra. It is shastram. You will be violating dharma shastra, violating dharma. Violating dharma means it is you are leading a life of an animal instincts. So his acharanam will be like an animal. Because kamas are not given up. If kama is there, krodha will be there. All the other dosha will be there. Then the acharanam of that person will be transgressing the dharma shastra. Therefore, where is Jivan Mukti, then where is Videha Mukti? Therefore, both are, there is no Videha Mukti. Videha Mukti itself, it's not possible without Jivan Mukti. Therefore, one cannot say Jivan Mukti while Jivan, I will enjoy the pleasures. After Videha Mukti, anyway, it will not be there, I will give up. Because you are not that to give up, therefore you will give. You cannot say. Because there is no Videha Mukti without Jivan Mukti. So, therefore, if you entertain Kama And if you don't give up and then act as you like, you are violating the Karma Shastra. Karma Shastram Atilangate. So therefore, Aihikanam Kamanam Api Tyagaha Jivanyeva Yuktaha iti. Therefore, while living, the karma should be given up. Therefore, you cannot entertain karma and then do sadhana without giving up the karma, do sadhana. Then Jivan Mukti is not possible. When Jivan Mukti is not, the Videha Mukti also is not possible. So this is an advice for the sadhakas. Tattam Buddhva, therefore, Kamadin, Nishesham, Jahasi, it should be given up. Tyajyaha, Avasham Tyajyaha. Yateshta Charanam is not for the mumukshus. Because mumukshu, he has done homework, he has done pariksha lokan, karmachitan, brahmanaha, nirvedamayat. Therefore, kamanusara vivaharaha, kamanusara vivaharaha, tasya, mukshoho, sadhanatva rupena navartate. Ataha, and also moreover from the standpoint of the world. Because he is a sadhaka, he has gained certain respect. Therefore, yateshta charanam will be problem and he will be violating Dharma Shastra and he will set a bad example, in fact, for the world, in the eyes of the world. That he says later, in fact. Yateshta Charanam is used as a very strong word. The person acts as he wishes, Sattvam Buddhva, then there is no difference between this person and a pig. Later Acharya says, Icchanusarena Acharanam. Then the dog which puts his mouth wherever it likes, between the two person, one places he compares with the dog, other places he compares with the pig. What is the difference between these two persons? There's no difference. It's very strong criticism he does. So therefore, Nishesham Kama Tyagaha Kartavyaha, then only Jivan Mukti, then only Videha Mukti. So therefore, Yateshtatanam te syat, iti te bhava syat, tarhi bhavan kama shastra atilinginaha, kama shastra atilangi bhavati. Now the tika. Nanu vairagyadi sampadhanena atyanta anarthayetoho kamadeke tyaktatvat aigika bhoga matra upayogikam adyupagame upayogi kamadi adyupagame kaha dosha iti ashankya aha. Nanu vairagyadi sampadhanena atyanta anartha hetoho. So vairagyadi sampadhan, by gaining vairagya, etc. Atyanta anartha hetu, this kamadehe. Kamadi, these are atyanta anartha hetu. These are very anartha hetu, cause for anartha, cause for problems, therefore should be given up by vairagya, etc. By gaining vairagya, etc. This kamadi should be given up because here anartha hetu. Anartha hetutvat. Aigika Bhogamatra upayogi kamadi abhyupagamikaha dosha. Okay. And what is the problem? What is the dosha? What is the defect in accepting, in following a desire that are useful in enjoying the pleasures of the world? If a person doubts, for him the answer is given. Aigika means in this world. Aigika bhoga, pleasures of the world, enjoyment of this world. For that, whatever kamadi, if the person entertains, kamadi abhyubhakami, if the person accepts the kamadeha, what is the problem in that? Kaha dosha vartate, what is the defect in that? If you ask, for that he says, tattvam buddhva tattvam iti. Tattva vitva abhimanena. Tattva abhimanena vidhi nisheda shastram atikramya kamadi adhinataya vartamanasya tava yateshtacharanam syat. Is the result of yateshtacharanam, that yateshtacharanam Acharya will tell, compare with something later, the next sloka. Now, he says here, tatta vitva abhimanena. Tatta vitva abhimana means tatta vit, the status of being a tatta vit, by that abhimana. Vidhi nisheda, shastra which is in the form of vidhi nisheda. Ko vidhihi, ko nishedaha, only for the jnani. Not for the people, not for the lokika, not for the even mumukshu also. Only when the person has gained the status of being a jivan mukta, then only there is no vidhi, there is no nisheda. Is not bound by any vidhi nisheda of the shastra. His actions will be spontaneous and it will be dharmika. Similar point discussed in Vedanta Sara also. His actions will be spontaneously dharmika. What he does, in fact, that is dharma. If any doubt is there with regard to dharma, then we have to refer to the action of such jnanis, because jnani cannot violate dharma. How you say jnani cannot violate dharma? Because the dharma becomes a means for jnana prapti. Then after jnanam, they cannot give up dharma, then get back to the old self. That is not possible. Therefore, there is no yateshtacharanam for the jnani. Therefore, there is no vidhi nisheda for the jnani also. That is why Shastram has no application for such people. Whereas here, we are talking about a sadhaka. That way I said Sattam Buddha it is Sapratibadda Jnanam, Jnanavastha. It is not Jnananishtavastha. So therefore, Vidhi Nisheda, Shastram Atikramya, transgressing the Vidhi Nisheda Shastra, Dharma Shastra, crossing the limit of Vidhi do, Nisheda don'ts of the Shastra. So, Kamadi Adhinataya, because of Kamadi, etc., overpowering you, Adhinataya, you are under the Vasha of Kamadi. Kamadi Rataya Vartamanasya Tava, you who has come under the influence of Kamadi, you will be acting as you like. Yateshta Charanam Syat, you will be the one who will be acting as you like. So what? Let me act as I like. That is what freedom is. No. You cannot act as you like. Yateshta Charanam. Yadi Yateshta Charanam Bhavati Targi, then what? Siddhartha says next sloka. Let us read. Buddhadvaitas Tvatatvasya Yateshta Charanam Yadhi.
बुद्धाद्वैतः स्वतत्त्वस्य
यथेष्टाचरणं
यथेष्टाचरणं
यदि
यदि
Buddha Advaitas Tattvasya. Okay. Anyway. Shunam Tattvadrisham Chaiva Ko Bhedo Shuchibhakshane.
शुनां तत्त्वदर्शां
तादृशां चैव को
को बुद्धो
शुचिभक्षणे
It's not Buddha. I said, did I say Buddha? I'm sorry if I said something wrong. It is Buddha. Buddha Advaita Swatatvasya. Buddha Advaita Swatatvasya. Swatatvam. Okay. Buddha, not Buddha. There is no Buddha. Takara and Dhakara only. So Buddha means Avagata, Vijnata ityartaha. Advaita Swatatvasya. Advaita Swatatvasya. Atmatatvasya. Swatattvam is Atmatattvam. Buddha is Jnata, Vijnata. Vijnata Advaita Swatatvasya Swarupasya ityartaha. Simple. So Swarupa, which is Advaita, it is Buddha, it is Jnataha. So it is referring to the person. It's a compound, Bhuri Samasa. Buddha, Vijnataha, Advaita Swatattvam, Yena Saha. So Buddha Advaita Sattvaha. Tasya Buddha Advaita Tattvasya. See, one who has a knowledge of oneself. Swatattvam, Swarupasya. Yadi yateshta charanam bhavati. Suppose if the person acts as he likes, the person leads a free life, licentious life, without conforming to dharma. Yateshta charanam syat, because of due to karma. Then tattva drisham, tattva drisham is tattva shabda. Tattva drisho, tattva drishaha. So tattva drisham, यदि बुद्धाद्वैत तत्त्वस्य यथेष्टार्चनं भवति, then तत्त्वदृशां कः भेदः? What is the difference with the tattva-drishya, with the tattva-drik, with the knowers of the truth? With what? Ashuchi bhakshane shunam. Ashuchi bhakshane shunam. Shuna, dog. So ashuchi, na shuchihi, ashuchihi. Ashuchehe bhakshanam, ashuchi bhakshanam. So ashuchi bhakshane shunam, in eating shuchi ragita padarthanam, kadane, the shunakanam, and tattva drisham, between these two, ubayoho, kaha vedaha, what is the difference between the dog which eats, which is not pure, and between this person who is a tattva drika, tattva veta? What is the difference? Tattvam pashyati iti tattva drika, tattva jnani. Tattva jnani means apradibadha jnanam asti, not jnani means not the sita prajna, that is not jnani yet. So shunam, dogs, tattva drisham shunam cha, kaha vedaha, what is the difference between them? I have studied Shastram, Shavanam I have done, Mananam. I am a sadhaka, but my behavior is not in keeping with the Shastra, Yateshta Charanam. So if I am Kama Bhakshaha, Kama Vadaha, Kama Charaha, then for between me and the dog, what is the difference? There is no difference. Kaha Vedaha. My Acharanam is Yateshta Charanam, propelled by Kama. So therefore, Kamadin, that is why Kamadin Nishesham Tektavyam, to be given up completely. Otherwise, there will not be any difference between the Tattvadrika and the Shunaka. So, iti Acharya Stika, we will see in the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidham Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Dhanyavada.
धन्यवादः जी।
धन्यवाद शब्जी।
धन्यवाद जी।
धन्यवादः जी।
धन्यवादः।